But recording your mistakes is not the same thing as changing your behavior. So that is why you can have a journal full of insight, a journal full of records, and still blow your account. That is the gap that I'm going to talk about in today's video. You can write down the same mistake over and over, and you will still keep making it. Seriously think about that, because most day traders can literally show you a journal page that says, I overtraded, I revenge traded, I broke my rule last week, and then from last month, and then those same things from 6 months ago. So clearly, writing down these things does not fix it. If journaling automatically fixed your behavior, nobody would keep repeating the same mistakes. Because once you saw it and you wrote it in the book, you'd be like, bet, it's time to stop. But that is not what happens. Most day traders don't have an awareness problem. You're aware of the problem. You know what your problem is. You know what you wrote in your journal last week, last month, and last year. You actually have a containment problem. See, you're so aware of what you do wrong, but you don't have a structure that stops it from happening again. So when people say, I journal, what they're literally saying, usually, is I record all of my mistakes. I've written down all my mistakes. But recording your mistakes is not the same thing as changing your behavior. So that is why you can have a journal full of insight, a journal full of records, and still blow your account. That is the gap. Most traders think they're journaling, but what they're actually doing is just logging data. You have a log of what you've done, and those are not the same thing. See, in this video, I'm going to show you what to actually journal, because right now you're writing down your ticker and your entry and your stop loss and your target and your risk and your P&L and your R multiple and your win or loss. You might write down how you felt emotionally, and then you say, oh, I wrote down all the things, I've journaled, done. But the really uncomfortable truth is that if journaling like that made people profitable, most day traders would already be profitable, because almost everybody does that. So why are so many traders still blowing accounts? Because awareness was never meant to be the solution. Writing down what happened does not change what you do. Just because you're more aware of what you've done doesn't mean you're not going to keep repeating it. You will keep repeating it. And most people stop there. They think that if I just see it enough times, I'll stop. And that is not how humans work. If awareness alone fixed behavior, nobody would do all the things we know are bad, like smoking and overeating and procrastinating, or in trading, revenge trading. People already know what they're doing. You know it. They just keep doing it anyways. So when a trader says, oh, I journal, what they're literally saying is, I document outcome of my trades. But profitable journaling is not about outcome. It's not about what happened. It's about your behavior. And here's the simplest way that I can say it that I'm going to offer you today. You don't need more data. You need more truth. You can log your trades. That is great to do. I'm not saying stop that. I'm saying there needs to be a layer of truth added in, because most journaling answers the question of what happened in the market. But profitable answers are what happened in me. It sounds so cliche, but the market is not blowing your account. Nobody's against you. Nobody's worried about your $1,000, $10,000, $20,000. Corporations are making billions of dollars a day. Nobody's worried about your $1,000 you're making. No one's worried about your 10K month. No one's trying to make you lose. It's your behavior. You have the same exact strategy, the same exact setup, and the same exact rules. You can have the exact same strategy, the exact same setup, the exact same rules, and true traders, two different people, will get two completely different results. Why? Because of who that person is in their internal state. That's why I say this all the time. You can mess up a perfect trade. There can be a 600% gain sitting right in front of you and you miss it and you lose it. Not because the setup was bad, but because you were not in the right state for that trade to work out. So you were wrong emotionally, mentally, internally, and your journaling probably is not tracking all of that. So I'm going to show you what most people track, and then I'm going to show you what they should actually be tracking. See, most people track, did I follow my rules? Did I win or I lose? How much did I win or how much did I lose? That's very surface level. And that is not useless, but it's not what changes behavior. What we're trying to do here is change your behavior. What actually changes your behavior is tracking the patterns of yourself. What actually matters is not what was the ticker. What matters is what was my internal state when I clicked buy. I know it sounds so abstract, but seriously, ask yourself, how did I feel right before I moved my stop? Was I urgent? Was I desperate? Was I rushing? Not asking yourself, was this a good setup? Literally, like writing down. I was calm, I was neutral. Was I patient when I looked at it? Was I calm and neutral and patient when I looked at it? Because you can look at a trade in the wrong state and you make it look like something's there that's not there. But I want to say that because the same setup taken in two different internal states is not the same trade. This is where most traders lie to themselves. It's so easy to lie. Nobody can lie to you better than you because they say the setup was valid, which is fine. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance. Calls or puts, it's really not that hard. But were you valid or were you bored? Or were you neutral? Or were you trying to make money? And now you're trying to get back to green. Were you trying to feel better? Were you trying to prove something? Were you trying to feel like a trader? Your journal should expose that, not hide it. So here's what profitable journaling actually looks like. Instead of writing, I lost on ES negative 2R multiple, you write, I was frustrated from the last loss. I sized up slightly. I entered faster than I should have. I felt urgent. I didn't wait for the full confirmation. That's actually useful information because it shows you the real cause of the loss, not just the loss, not the market. It shows you you. And this ties directly into the red flags video that I did where I talked about how certain behaviors mean you're about to blow your account. You might see yourself in a few of them. There's 10. Just watch that video right here. And those are the things that you should actually be tracking. Whichever ones you see yourself in are the ones that you need to be tracking. You can watch that video here. So if you overtrade, track what emotional state you were in before you overtraded. If you know yourself to revenge trade, track the thoughts that hit your mind right before you click. If you size up, track what story you're telling yourself. When you say things like, I'm due for a win, I need to make this money today, I think this is gonna just shoot up to the moon, I gotta get in, I think this is a good one. Those thoughts matter more than your entry price. You're arguing between a market and a limit order when your entry price doesn't really matter. It's those thoughts that are gonna create your behavior. And that behavior is what's gonna create results. And this also ties into the neutrality video that I did, because neutral traders don't just look neutral. We actually track our neutrality. We're not trying to convince ourselves that we're neutral. We build a system that doesn't allow for excitement to show up. So we actually notice when neutrality has left the room. We understand when our emotions, our excitement is showing up, our urgency and our pressure and our want to do something unaligned. We see that head on and we can stop it in real time. And that's the part that you're missing. You're observing things after the fact, and so you're not able to actually change it in real time when it matters, when there's money on the line. Every single day, your journal should answer just this one question: was I neutral today? Not, did I make money? Did I follow my rules? Did I da-da-da-da? All of that will be solved if you just ask yourself that one question, because you can make money on a bad day, behaviorally. But every time you make money in a bad way, that's dangerous, because some of the worst habits are built on green days, which is why I don't recommend you looking at your P&L at the end of the day and using that as a good system. Oh, I ended green, I ended red. That's not a good system, because you can win green using bad behavior and end red using good behavior. So you don't want to mix those things up, because you can break a rule and still make money, but then your brain is just going to reinforce the wrong lesson. So your journal should also track, did I reinforce bad behavior today, even if it was green? That is high level journaling. We're leveling up our journaling. That is how real change happens. And here's another huge mistake. Most people journal after the trade. And honestly, I don't blame you, because it's a lot to write down all that stuff while you're trading and trying to get in and out and try not to miss the trade. Or if you're a scalper or intraday or whatever, it's a lot to journal while you're trading. I understand that. But the most important journaling happens before you take the next trade. Oh my gosh, you should be asking, how am I right now? How do I feel before this next trade? Not what happened earlier, what did I trade earlier, what was that last trade? You need to really be asking yourself about right now. Are you bored? Are you calm? Are you trying to force something? Are you feeling the need to fix something? Are you feeling the need to trade so that you can feel better about yourself? Whatever. Because if you don't trade like that, you're literally flying blind with capital. It's even worse when you have leverage and access to leverage and margin. So this is the part most people don't want to hear. But if you're still blowing accounts, it's not because you don't know enough. It's because you're not managing your internal state. And your journal is not designed to catch that. That's why you're watching this video. But that's why people say, I journal and it doesn't help. I see that advice on YouTube videos all the time. Just journal. But journaling doesn't work like that. I journal and it doesn't help. It's not that journaling doesn't work. It's just that you're journaling the wrong stuff, because nobody has really talked about it. Data does not change people. Patterns is what's actually going to change you. If you want the full system on how to structure this, not just what you write, but to actually contain your behavior, I break it down inside of the private training. It is free to watch. It is not a strategy. It is not for beginners. It is a containment framework for experienced traders who keep blowing their accounts. It shows you how to stop turning one bad trade into a whole blown account. You can watch it for free. It's like 15 minutes. You can watch it tomorrow at the gym or whenever you have time. The link for it is the first link in the description box. But here's what I want you to do today. Not tomorrow, today. Even if it's not a trading day, I want you to open your journal, and instead of writing about the market, write a page about you. How you felt, what you thought, what you wanted, what you were trying to fix. That one page will teach you more than the last 100 trades that you've logged. Because profitability is not hidden in the chart. There's no more information you can learn. When you want to scale your trading, it's literally about trading with more money. There's no other way to scale it. There's no skill stacking. It's once you find your edge, that's it. But your edge is neutrality. Find that neutrality through what I talked about in this video. The profitability is hidden in your behavior. And if you don't start tracking your behavior and you keep tracking what you're tracking in your journal, you're going to keep repeating the same cycle where you're writing the same mistakes over and over and over and over after months and months and months. It's going to be the same market. It's going to be the same you. It's going to be the same result. But the real work is how traders actually change with journaling this way. If you can write down a mistake and then go make that same mistake again, that means journaling itself is not the fix. That's clear. It means awareness is not the fix. Like being aware of a problem, being aware of an issue, being aware that you are doing something is not the fix. It's not the solution. You don't need more proof of what you're doing wrong. We have enough proof of that. You already have enough proof. What you need is a structure that makes it hard to repeat those mistakes. Because knowing that you revenge trade doesn't stop you from revenge trading. You know that you overtrade. And journaling, what you're doing right now, is not stopping you from overtrading. If awareness fixed behavior, every trader with a journal and a sheet of paper and a pen would be profitable, but they're not, which means that the real work is not logging your mistakes. It's not making a record of your trades. The real work is building containment, contain your behavior, especially because you know how to trade and you're making money. You have to contain that so you can keep the money. This is why I teach this the way that I do. Not what did you do? It's how do we make it harder for you to do that mistake again? That's the actual result. If your journal is filled with the same notes, the same mistakes, the same patterns, it is not a discipline problem. You're not undisciplined. You're not lazy. It's a structure problem. And you can literally fix it. It's a fixable thing. But until you fix it, you're going to write those same mistakes down forever and you're going to repeat them forever. That is why I built the private training around containment. It is not a motivational talk. It is not more trading rules. It's actual structure that you can use in your trading every trading day that stops one bad trade from becoming 5 and turning into a blown account. If you're serious about changing your behavior, not just documenting your behavior, that's where you want to start. It's the first link in the description box. It's completely free to watch, and I'll see you in there because I'm going to walk you through how to do this for yourself.